Hello again. I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I thought let's do a quick little update with what I read on Sunday. So we started out with Rosaline Palmer today, and I got like 50 or so pages read. I am on week 4, Saturday, which is Biscuit Week in the book, because if you don't know the premise of this book, it's a LGBT romance, and the main setting is basically the Great British Bake Show. But, what is it? It's called something else in this book, and I already forgot what the name is, because every time I read it, I just go, oh, Great British Bake Show. Oh, gosh, I don't remember what it's called. Let me look it up real quick. But, overall, I am enjoying the book. I just kind of wish more of the show was on it. You know? Read more descriptions. It doesn't say. Either way, it's basically the Great British Bake Show. I forget the name of it because, again, I just skip over it and go Great British Bake Show. It's not even in the storycraft description, so I can't even tell you what it is. I wish there was more of the show on it, though, because I really like Great British Bake Show. Yes. Like, I love it. Like, we just finished Bread Week on there, and, like, I'm like, I need to know more about your guys' bread, please. I like baking, I'm just lazy is the problem, and I, like, don't want to put effort into it. Also, I hate making cakes. I absolutely despise making cakes. It's the whole, like, getting it out of the pan thing and then having to, like, ice it. I don't like icing. I don't like messing with icing. I hate it. But, like, brownies and cookies. I haven't made bread, though. It's something I want to try. And there's a few recipes in Joanna Gaines' Volume 2 of Magnolia Table that I kind of want to try. And I also saw she had some in Volume 3. But I need someone to purchase Volume 3 for me because I can't justify spending $30 on it myself. So I need someone else to purchase the book for me. AKA, I'll just ask for it for my birthday in September. But otherwise, I'm really enjoying this. We've already got some of the romance. I just need their, like, relationship to actually, like, develop instead of them just being fuck buddies. But maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. You know? And we also started listening to the audiobook of Straight On Till Morning by Liz Braswell while I was doing my Diamond Art, which is the Twisted Tale retelling of Peter Pan. It's going well so far, you know. I like Captain Hook. You know, he's the villain, but, like, once upon a time, to something, I was like, I'm here for Captain Hook. Like, screw it, you know. Once upon a time was where it's at. It got weird toward the end there, though. I don't even think I finished watching it all, because it got, like, weird. Actually, I never did, because I heard everyone left in, like, the last season or something, and I, like, wasn't about it once Henry was, like, an actual teenager, and I know he was a teenager for then, but, like, I don't know, I just wasn't about it. Whew. Sorry, tired. But this is going well so far. This is going to be my audiobook for now. I haven't actually decided what my audiobook will be after that yet, which is unusual because I usually have stuff lined up, but I did not. I'll have to, like, scour through my list. And then last, we started Jurassic Park. This is for a buddy read. You know, one of those many things on my list of buddy reads to read. This is one that was added for the month of June. And my goal is, you know, to participate in the month. Like, and then I'll go back, I'll get those other buddy reads done. I promise. We're going to work on that this week, too. We are. I already made that plan. I was going to try to read 50 pages of this a day, but I didn't start this until after 10, and I'm on page 22. And now it's, like, almost 11, and I need to go to bed because I have to work in the morning. But I think this is going to be my workbook this week. So I'll bring it to work, and hopefully we get a decent lunch break, and I'll read it on my lunch break. But it's going well so far. Like, I've read Jurassic Park before. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite science fiction things of all time, ever in the history of the world. I love the franchise. I love the books. I love the movies. I actually do not own the movies though on DVD, and that is something else I want because I do own a DVD player, but I do not have a Peacock subscription, and like the only thing I want on Peacock is Harry Potter and Jurassic Park. So I need to obtain the Jurassic Park trilogies myself. So I've put some of these thoughts in the Buddy Read group chat we have going on. And these are all about the prologue. I'm past the prologue now, but first of all, the prologue. Not too spoiler, I think, because I think most people have like heard of Jurassic Park. In another premise is that there's dinosaurs, okay? But this guy comes in with this giant slash mark, like, everywhere. Like, he looks like he's been mauled by an animal. And they go, he was ran over by the backhoe and dragged by it. And what I wrote, yeah, he just got ran over by a backhoe. Clearly a backhoe would slice your chest open. You were slashed at by an animal. Very convincing. Very convincing to that. Just a backhoe incident. There's no dirt or anything. There's like, he's covered in a sticky substance that looks like saliva, but like totally backhoe. It was totally a backhoe, guys. Also, another comment from it is now making fun of the doctor because this was very weird to me. And I wrote, as a doctor, are you going to tell me you don't know the word raptor? Like, I get not knowing if it meant something else in Spanish, but you felt the need to look it up in the English dictionary, which is very true. You're going to tell me, as a doctor, the patients, who got run over by a backhoe is telling you raptor, and he speaks Spanish, and you're English, which I feel like if you're going to be a doctor in Costa Rica, you should learn Spanish, like, maybe we should learn some Spanish, guys. Like, why did you go there not knowing how to speak Spanish? Weird, but okay, whatever. You're just going to expect all the patients to speak English, I guess. Like, that's logical. But the patient's saying raptor, and your response is, oh my god, what is a raptor? You've never heard the word raptor in your life? Children know what a raptor is. You've never heard the word raptor. Ever. You're a doctor. Never heard of the word raptor. But again, maybe it means something in Spanish, and then maybe we're telling you it's like this vampire creature that takes children. Okay. But then you felt the need, for some reason, to look up raptor in the English dictionary. Because apparently, after you go through high school, you're like 17, 18, depending on how early you start school. And then you went through 4 years of undergrad. By this point, you're like 21, 22. Even if you graduated early, you're still in your early 20s. And then you went through another 4 years of medical school. And you can't, like, speed up medical school. You can speed up your undergrad, but you can't speed up medical school. So, let's just say you're super advanced and you finish, stuff early. You're, like, mid-20s. And that's before you do all your, like, internships, residency stuff. And in that time frame, the word raptor never crossed your ear. You never heard of it? Like, I know this book was published in the 90s, so, like, presumably the setting is the 90s. But you never heard the word raptor. I can't wrap my head around that. Like, what? But that's enough of my rant on the word raptor, and apparently never hearing that word in your life that you feel the need to look it up in a dictionary. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I meant to update last night, and then I just wasn't feeling it, after I did, like, classwork, I just wasn't feeling it, but hey, I have everything done for up through next Thursday, so we're ahead of schedule, we're doing pretty good. So, first, the audiobook I've listened to is, Straight on Some Morning by Liz Braswell. It's part of the Twisted Tales retellings, the Peter Pan one. Sorry, I'm tired. It's interesting so far. I mean, it's not too drastically different from the actual story, I don't feel. I mean, except for the mermaid. I mean, the mermaids were kind of bitches already, let's admit it. But, like, they extra bitchy. And, I don't know, it was what I was listening to yesterday, and I don't even know what chapter it is, because I'm listening to the audiobook, and I was taking a walk. And it's, like, this huge ordeal that one of the Lost Boys is a girl, and why are we making such a big deal out of this? Like, let them do what they want, you know? It is very, very misogynistic for Peter Pan to only take boys. Like, regardless, it's going fine. It's going just fine. Just my Midwest, it's just going fine. It could go either way yet at this point. Now, Jurassic Park. Now, this is one of my favorite franchises of all times. Like, I've read this book before. I've read the sequel before. The movie franchises are the two franchises, you know, Jurassic Park and then Jurassic World. One of my favorite franchises of all time, and I'm glad the story continued, because I think it was an excellent continuation of the series. Eleanor, please stop rubbing your face against the carpet. It's getting weird at this point. I know you're wet from being out in the rain, but stop rubbing your face on things. So, I have a few more thoughts. We're at 20% in this book now. You know, gotta go chunk it. Gonna read a little bit more here yet tonight, because I'm not quite tired yet, but I thought I'd update what I got so far. So, besides my other thoughts I've already shared, you know, they ship off the lizard to New York for identification purposes, and the lab there is like, you know, this isn't a dinosaur, you know, this is just a lizard. Fair point. To be honest, if I was working in a lab and someone sent me a reptile of some sort and can you figure out what this is, I would never be like, oh, it's clearly a dinosaur. Even if it didn't have the right amount of toes, I just think, wow, that's a really weird genetic mutation. I want to think dinosaur. So fair enough point. Fair enough point for the guy in charge of the lab for not wanting to send it on to the Natural History Museum, because, you know what, if I worked at a Natural History Museum and someone sent me this and be like, is this a dinosaur? And I'd be like, are you on drugs? To be fair. And then that was from what I read yesterday. So for tonight, I read like maybe between 30 and 40 pages so far today. And I just got to the part where they arrive on the island and they see a dinosaur. And I'll read you the first paragraph here is, my God, Ellie said softly. They were staring at the animal above the tree. My God. You see a dinosaur. A real live dinosaur, and your reaction is, my God. I'd have a few more choice words than my God. And why has no one fainted? You know, that's the reaction we need. Someone needs to faint. And someone needs to have more choice words that would certainly get you banned from all the platforms for being unfriendly. That'd be my reaction. Anyways, I'm feeling it tonight. You know, we're doing good. So, we're gonna read a little bit more here and see where it goes. Okay, we have to be careful because I balance this very precariously. That's the only way to do it. So, what day is it? It's Thursday. That's right. So, yesterday I made some, off the camera, we're moving this. I made some progress on our Jurassic Park. I read it a little bit to, for what day yesterday. I got through this much. And my comments are all on the phone, but let me just pull them up from my computer. Well, that's loading. We also made 2.24% and straight on till morning, which it's going well. You know, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not my favorite one, but it is interesting to say the least. Like, Peter Pan has never been one of my favorite ones. Okay, so yesterday, what I put in there. Oh wait, no, I put that today. Where did I put yesterday? Okay, so yesterday I read the part in this book where they start talking about the genetics of the dinosaurs, and I really, really like that part, but I will say, he tries to make it seem like it sounds complicated. I understand what he's trying to get at. He, like, very much oversimplified it, how the genetics work, but there's a lot more that go into it, and I did appreciate how he tried to simplify it for people who don't understand what's going on. I think if you don't know what's happening yet, though, it seems very, very complicated. It is very complicated. But he did really try to dumb it down, the genetics for it. And you could have to appreciate that, because, like, if you don't know, I have my bachelor's in health sciences, and I minored in biology and psychology, and I almost had another third minor in chemistry. I was one class away from it. And at some point during my crazy let's just do all the science stuff, I took genetics and biochemistry, which, hindsight, should I have taken those classes at the same time? Probably not, because I was also taking organic chemistry too at the same time. Make it make sense why I thought that was a good idea in my brain. But it kind of helped at the same time. Like, for the most part, it was very, very difficult to juggle those classes. There was a part where genetics and biochem merged together, and, like, we were learning the same things, like, during the same week. Made it very tedious, but, like, amazing. But he really does dumb it down in this book, and I think you really have to appreciate how he took a very complex thing, because he clearly had to research on this, and he simplified it. Like, I doubt he went into all the details that, like, geneticists have to and whatnot, but, like, he really does simplify it, and, you know, he had to do some kind of research. Also, and then we get into the tour. They're doing the dinosaurs, and I think there's a scene in there where, I don't feel like this is too spoilery, because, like, this book has been out for years, and there's movies on it, where Henry Wu starts to really, it seems like he really starts to question his science and his genetics, where it's like, he insists that none of them can escape off the island, but then he also starts saying, like, maybe we should modify the genes to make them more docile and not so lifelike, like realistic. And I think this is where he starts to realize that this whole thing can get out of hand very, very quickly. And I think he's still trying to deny it in his brain yet, but, like, a small, like, subconscious part of him realizes that this is all going to end horribly. So I think he starts to realize that. And then my other thoughts, I guess I can share what my thoughts so far today are. So then there is a part in here where there's, like, several ones where, like, you know, they're doing, like, tracking the dinosaurs, like, how many dinosaurs are in the park. Like, right there. Where, like, there's expected 238, and it found 238. So it's like, oh, great, all the dinosaurs are here. They're all alive. And then they said to make it up one, because, like, they found an egg, and, like, Rand's, like, very insistent. Like, you need to, like, increase it just by one, see what it says. And it finds another one, but, like, it found another one, and then he raises it up, and they ended up finding a total of 292, and there's only supposed to be 238, but he found 292. And I think my favorite part is that at this point, they have all the velociraptors locked up in, like, a special, like, caged unit. They're not, like, free roaming, and they're, like, area in the park. They're, like, in cages. And, they only bred that they know of 8. and the camera picks up 37. You mean to tell me there are 29 velociraptors free roaming in the park and nobody noticed? Like, they have to be eating. Like, they're not just not eating. Like, and they're prey. Like, they're predators. Like, they're hunting other dinosaurs. So even if your computer's still picking up because, like, they're breeding and you're not supposed to, but, like, they're breeding and, oh, it's picking them up. Did you, like, never find a carcass? Like, I mean, they're gonna eat a lot, and there's other dinosaurs that are scavengers that they have, but they don't eat, like, the bones. Like, you're gonna find bones somewhere, right? So I just, like, don't understand how they didn't miss it. For, like, multiple velociraptors, 29 velociraptors, free roaming in the park, and nobody's noticed. Nobody's seen them on the cameras. Nobody's, like, seen them out and about. And I know they're like, intelligent in the book, but, like, nobody's seen evidence of them out and about in the park. Like, I don't see how that's possible. But that brings me to the end of my rant for right now. And what are we doing next? What I'm doing next here is I ran out of my allergy drops. Something I got to pick up tomorrow. I got a package in the mail here. And as per usual, I have the stupid issue with Amazon where Amazon wants to use their stupid delivery service, Amazon, to deliver it. And I don't like when Amazon delivers because they can't get into my apartment building because it's a locked building. So they just throw my packages outside in the street. Whereas if you deliver with UPS, my mail would get delivered directly to my door because the mailman's super nice and can bring all my packages to my doorstep. But alas, they are not intelligent on Amazon, and I wish I could request them not to do that, but I can't find out how to only request through USPS. But that's what I would prefer. We also have to cut all these open because Eleanor is terrified of them. I know they're scary, Eleanor. You gonna come up? Oh, look, they're all gone. They're all gone. You gonna come? You gonna come see? You gonna look what's in the box with me? Yeah. Your package arrives tomorrow from the Amazon. Your puppy treats. Ooh, it's on. Okay, we're gonna do the less exciting one that probably no one's heard of. This is The Ghost Who Stayed Home. This is book 11 in a series I'm buying all the books in to do a thing next year with. This is a bit thicker than I thought. But you guys know what? They're all like roughly this big. It has quite decent size print in the book. This is the chunky one. So, last weekend, I had ordered a book, and it says it was the real book on Amazon, and it was the same price as the actual book, which I found out later. But this was on there. This is a goddamn notebook, and I didn't have to return it, but Amazon did refund my money, which is fine, because then I ended up using the notebook. But that's not what I ordered. I wanted to order this one. You see the size difference? And this is quite chunky. So, this is something else we will be doing soon because this came out. This is what I was waiting for. I love it. I don't know how far I've actually gone into some of these. So, I read quite a bit online, but then I don't quite like reading it on my laptop or on my iPad. So I'm kind of just waiting for all the physical editions to be published so I can read them. Because yes, I really do not like, I don't like how I have to scroll, and it's like annoying to me. So that's my little book mail for today. And that's all I have for now. We'll be back later with the update, huh? Mwah! quarter till midnight on Saturday night, and I did not read on Friday. I meant to read, and then I did the laundry and like watched some true crime and started to fall asleep, so I did not read. But today, Saturday, I went and I got my hair trimmed this morning. Probably can't tell because I literally just had it trimmed. Because I don't want any length taken off. I'm going to grow it back out. Which probably nobody remembers because this is before I started the channel. But my hair was like down to here. And then I cut off 14 inches of it in August last year. This is the first time I've had my hair trimmed since then. But I did some notes for class on Thursday, and I made this delicious chicken parmesan garlic potato dish type thing. It was really good. I'm really happy with it. It was really good. AC's gonna kick back on. And here, we have made tremendous progress on this book. Let me put my iPad. Oh, well, I just pulled the whole thing out of the wall. That's fine. 'Tis fine. Let me look how much I just finished. It did not take me 2 hours. It probably took me like an hour. Now 40 minutes. Oh, sorry, I didn't date it, I guess. Give me a bad. 45. There we go. Okay, so today, the book has 399 pages, and I read 197 of them today. So, I think I was at 50% or maybe 51 or something. We effectively read everything. I know where I was. I was here when I started today, so I read all of this in the past few hours. So, that's what we're going to call it on that one. Still a 5-star read. Absolutely loved it. My main thought through that chunk I read today was that there is a scene where they're trying to hunt down the T-Rex because it's escaped. And, you know, they're talking about tranquilizers, and they're talking about the intelligence of the dinosaurs. They're like, oh, you know, it would really suck if the raptors got out because they're really intelligent. And did no one inform these two men? They weren't in the control room when they were running the numbers, but did no one inform these two men that they only, like, there's 8 velociraptors that they knew were in the park, but the camera picked up an extra 29? So clearly they were already out. Like, this was already a threat. Did nobody inform these men? I know the one for sure. I remember he wasn't, but I can't remember the other guy was at the time. Like, does nobody remember that part? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed my time rereading Jurassic Park. And I moved my diamond art stuff. I'll probably share that next week because I'm going to probably finish it here the next week. Oh, we can do my list of buddy reads. I showed this a few weeks ago, my list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 buddy reads. Going back to February. And I've completed the highlighted one, so 4. So we're at 15. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. I don't overwhelm myself at all, do I? But goal is going to be to finish Rosaline Palmer. Takes the cake tomorrow because iPad, Barnes & Noble. Yeah, it's fine. I'm at 44% in that book. So the goal is to finish that one tomorrow. And then this is the next physical book we're picking up. I gotta finish this one. You know, I started this months ago, guys, and I'm on That's not chapter page. 1 chapter 9. But I'm not worried because I've read this book 4 times, I think, at this point. So I know what's happening, you know? I don't need to restart that one. The other 2 I started in like February, March, somewhere in there. I do need to restart because the one's sitting over there and the other one's on my iPad. But it's almost midnight. I need to go to bed. We're going to call it here. So I'll see you guys next week.